Hi, I'm Franklin Nolan. Today's date is September 10th, 2015. Waiver of Section 402 Alpha of the Congressional Budget Act with respect to consideration of HR 4585. 95th Congress, First Session, Senate Calendar Number 292, Report Number 95-313, Docket Number 95/1 SRPT 313. June 28th, legislation date May 18th, 1977, ordered to be printed. Mr. Miniski from the Committee on the Budget submitted the following report to accompany S-Res 210. The Committee on the Budget, to which was referred the resolution S-Res 210 waiving Section 402 Alpha of the Congressional Budget and Impoundment Control Act of 1974 with respect to consideration of HR 4585 to authorize appropriations for Indian Claims Commissions for fiscal year 1978, having considered the same, reports favorably thereon, and recommends that the resolution be adopted. Purpose of the resolution: Section 402 Alpha, the Congressional Budget Act of 1974 provides that it shall be in order in either the House or the Senate to consider any bill or resolution which directly or indirectly authorizes the enactment of new budget authority for fiscal year unless that bill or resolution is reported in the House or Senate, as the case may be, on or before May 15th, preceding the beginning of such fiscal year, because HR 4585, which authorizes enactment of new bill budget authority which could become available fiscal year 1978, was reported by the Select Committee on Indian Affairs on June 27, 1977. A resolution waiving Section 402 Alpha of the Budget Act with respect to HR 4585 must be adopted before the bill can be considered by the Senate. In reporting favorably on the resolution, the Budget Committee is simply recommending that the Senate proceed to consideration of HR 4585 and is not prejudging the merits of the bill. Committee criteria: the budget of the committee is extremely reluctant to recommend the adoption of the resolution waiving Section 402 Alpha, the Budget Act. This section was included in the Budget Act to ensure that all authorizing legislation is considered as far as possible in the advance of fiscal years in which it takes effect, so that it could be considered in the formulation of first concurrent resolution. In addition, this section was included to provide the Appropriations Committee with some reasonable notice, indeed appropriations for the coming fiscal year, so that Appropriations Committee can meet the appropriations timetable spelled out in the Budget Act. Legislation authorizing the enactment of new budget authority, which is reported in the Senate after May 15th, could delay the enactment of appropriations bills past the Budget Act deadline of 7 days after Labor Day. For the completion of the entire appropriations process, the legislation history of Budget Act indicates that May 15th reporting deadlines is not to be lightly waived. Under these circumstances, the Budget Committee, in deciding whether the favorable reporting waiving section of 402 Alpha of the Budget Act, will consider factors including the reporting committee's effort to meet the May 15th deadline and the delay in appropriations process engendered by the late reporting of authorizing, whether the enactment of the authorizing will significantly affect the national priorities established in congressional budget. Budget implications. HR 4585 provides that the authorization for appropriation for fiscal year 78 for the Indian Claims Commission, it is estimated that the fiscal year 78 costs of the bill would be $2.3 million and $1.5 million of which has already been appropriated. This authorization is facilitate the termination of the commissions in September 78 and to aid and transfer the litigation to the Court of Claims. According to the Select Committee, because funds were not provided until April 77 for the committee's operations and hiring, it could not have reported HR 4585 any more promptly. The committee notified the Budget Committee in March that it could not be able to comply with either the March 15th or May 15th deadlines, but would comply as soon as possible. The authorization would not delay the appropriations process. The authorization is consistent with the assumption of the first budget resolution for function 750, and since the amount is small, it will have no significant impact on the budget totals. Under the circumstances, the Budget Committee reports favorably on the Senate Resolution 178 and recommends that it be adopted. SR313, waiver of Section 402 Alpha of the Congressional Budget Act with respect to consideration of HR4585, 95th Congress First Session, Senate Calendar Number 292, Reports Number 95-313, Docket 95/1, SRPT 313. Today's date, September 10th, 2015.